Okay, so I figured this would just be easier to do a video for you rather than, you know, figuring out when I have free time and you have free time. So I took apart one of mine here and I'm going to show you how to put it back together. You are going to need a screwdriver. Phillips head, it's the one with the little cross in it. Alright, because we have our hardware here is we have these long screws with the Phillips head there, about that big. So we'll have several of those. We have these middle mounts. They're the cylindrical pieces. They have they screw in on both sides. And then we have these top pieces. So these also screw in. They're flat, so you can put them in with your hands, just like this. And they're going to go at the very top of the piece. So your top piece, obviously, is going to be your biggest piece. Yours is square. Mine looks like this. And then you have 4 square pieces as well, which is why I pulled this one apart. So these are going to go on the bottom. And then this, when it's finished, is going to rest on top like that. So the top image is going to be your big one, okay? So I'm not taking this one apart because it's just going to be easier if I just show you with one. So you'll see that you have 2 pieces though. 2 made out of wood. So you'll have one is literally labeled top, like this guy. See how it's labeled top? And then you have the bottom one. So it's just this piece of wood. This is still attached. I already attached this, so I'm not going to take it off. But you have top and bottom. So I suggest you put the top on the table, bottom on the table, and then lay out just right on top of them where you want your images to go. You're going to see that 2 go on the left and 2 go on the right because it has the holes in it. So obviously the holes that are on this side would go on the right of the frame. So you line those up where you want them, top and bottom, right? So now with this guy, obviously this one's already on, but I'm going to stick a screw through this hole here, right? Now these are the long screws, the Phillips head screws. Put this through here, hold it in place, and then the bottom hole on your bottom right, you're going to put it through like that. You probably can't see very well on the webcam here, but I have it through, so it'll poke up that little bit. That's what the back will look like, right? Then you take your cylindrical bit and you're going to screw that hand tight onto the top there, like that. See? And then this next screw doesn't go into a piece of wood. So you put it just through the back, right like this, right? Put your little cylindrical gizmo on there. Screw it down hand tight, right? And now you'll be able to adjust these still in order to get that other bit on there, this top bit. So obviously you do that for the other one. You'd put this one on, screw it in, put this one through, just the regular back here, screw this one on. The same thing with the top. You want to make sure that you're putting the wood through the top holes in order to line it up, because you want this piece at the very top of your image. So what it's going to look like when you have them both done, if this is turned the right way, this has to be screwed on a little bit more. There we go. So they should look like that, right? And then all you're going to do is you put them down, bottom at bottom, top at top, go figure. And then you're going to line up. You'll see 8 holes here, so obviously 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top right, 2 on the top bottom, the bottom right rather. You knew what I meant. Anyhow, so you'll start lining up those holes, and that's when these little screw caps come in. It's best to just like line one up first. So what we'll do is we'll take the top like this, I have that held in there with my thumb like that. Lining it up there, and then just start twisting. Be gentle with these when you're first putting them in. They don't really require a whole lot of pressure, and you're going to want them to move around a little bit until you get everything lined up. So then do the same thing to the other side. Kind of push it through before you start screwing. Line it up with that, and then twist. So see, that'll hold it in place and make it really easy for you to line up the other two on the top piece. Okay, so there we go. That's the top. And then you pretty much do the same thing with the bottom. So I line up the bottommost right-hand piece first. Grab one of my little gizmos. Push it through, line it up, and screw it in. And then I'll do the same thing with the other side. Push it through, line it up, screw it in. Put your other two screws in there. Now you'll know if these aren't like obviously mine was out a little bit like this. So because the screws aren't too tight, you can still kind of push them around a bit and make sure they're lined up through this hole here before you pop this through and then start screwing it in. And then after we're done screwing all of them in, we're going to go back and tighten everything up, and I'll show you. You don't really need the screwdriver, but just in case, it makes it a little easier. So here's the finished piece. And then what you could do, if you want to use the screwdriver, is hold on to this front bit, make sure it's in nicely, hold on to it so it doesn't move, and then just like, you don't have to turn these very far. You're doing like less than 1/4 of a turn, really. It's just that little bit of fine-tunement that keeps them in place. You definitely do not want to use the screwdriver too hard on this. You will damage the print, okay? So then just go around, make sure they're just on there. Just good enough. Like I said, don't over-tighten. Just a little turn. Make sure these little peg guys are good. Just that little bit. And then you're done. And this piece right here is actually what you'll hang the picture off of. So this can go anywhere on any wall you want. And they're light enough that you could literally hang them with a thumbtack. But don't. Put actual like hanging brackets up if you have them. Alright, well, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, send me a picture when you get it hung up. I'd love to see it. Bye.